Hey guys, welcome back to Read.Pray.Disney. This is Christina. Here with you today with another pin informational. This particular video is going to discuss scrappers, the naughty word, scrappers, fakes, and so forth, and kind of show you what a couple of them look like. By no means are these all of them, but what a couple of them look like and whether or not scrappers, what's the deal with them? What do we do? Okay, so here we go. Couple of scrappers. You're like, this by no means are all my scrappers, but these are just really good examples that I could use to show you. I do have a little baggie full of some scrappers. But, so here we go. First of all, let's take a look at this guy. Do you see anything off about him? Does he look a little weird? And if you're like, no, he looks great. No, he doesn't. Yeah, he's grumpy, but grumpy is gray. Why is grumpy gray? Grumpy should be about Belle's color right here, but he's not, okay? I got this particular pin from who I thought was a good retailer, but obviously not. This is from this store in Kissimmee. I can't remember the name of the store right now, but it's a store in Kissimmee, Florida, that they sell Disney pins, and I bought this particular one through them on Instagram. So scrappers, what they are fake pins, okay? Fake as in a sense they're fake Disney pins. Obviously this is not a fake pin, this is a real thing. And truth be told, and really anybody will tell you that if you like the pin, keep the pin. It's a pin, right? Like there is nothing wrong with that. Scrappers just offer an alternative to, because, Disney pins, they can get a little pricey, but a lot of times, I'm trying to pull, well, like this toddler Belle, there's a whole series. This is an older series. This whole series of toddler princesses and princes, and Peter Pan and a genie randomly stuck in there. But this whole toddler series of pins, they were scrapped. Some scrapped really well, some scrapped really badly. But what happens is they get a hold of the factory. To my understanding, the factory sells the mold of it to other people. Either they sell it or it gets stolen, okay? And then other people remake the pin, and a lot of times the quality of the pin isn't so good. So if you look at Belle here, if I can get that to focus, you see her eyes? Like those are some seriously demonic eyes there she's got going on. They're completely filled in with the eye color. Disney, not to say Disney doesn't make, Disney's quality assurance or quality control isn't 100%. There are some times that Disney pins come out and somebody didn't catch it in quality control. However, this particular Belle, she is a scrapper because that is a well-known scrapper thing. When they made these, like her eye color is off, and then on top of that, Mrs. Potts, her coloring is off. It should be white, and that also has a tinge of gray kind of thing. And the same thing with Grumpy here. Grumpy, I love Grumpy. Now let me tell you the story about Grumpy real quick. Grumpy is I call him Rona Grumpy. And it's because Grumpy, I got like right at the height of pandemic was happening, like in April, when there's a lot of stuff going on and you just weren't sure. Anyway, so I got him, and my fault because I bought him off Instagram, and I just saw him in a bunch of different pictures, and I saw it with a mix of other pins. I was like, oh, I like that one, send me that one. But I didn't really zoom in on it like I should have, and if I did, I would have noticed that his coloring is very much off. But I don't think I'll ever get rid of him because he reminds me of, one, my scrapper bra, making sure I look out for scrappers, but two, because he's my Rona Grumpy. Okay, so these are two examples of scrappers. Again, they're just faked pins. These two, I was fortunate enough, I got a scrapper and then I got the real one in a blind bag. So the scrapper I bought some pin lots off of eBay before I knew any better. When I started pin trading, when I started getting pins, my idea was that, so back last year in like January, February, the idea was, oh, I heard about this pin trading thing. I want to try it when we go to the parks over the summer. So I started buying pins, not really knowing the difference of things. And so I bought a couple of sealed blind bags, but I also bought a couple of bags from some eBay sellers that they said, oh, it's just going to be a lot of pins. You know, we don't really know what's in them. There's just, you know, here's 10 pins for, you know, or it's like something like 20 pins for $25 or something, which pins, good Disney pins, if you're going to get them in a lot, they shouldn't, once you do the math, they shouldn't be more than or less than like $3 a pin or so. So like I should have known then, but I didn't. So anyway, yeah. So this, let me make sure. Yeah, okay. So this one, the less yellowy, this one is the real pin. This one is the fake, okay? This one's the real one. Now you see how close that is in how they designed it. However, the coloring tells you that it's a fake pin, okay? And I don't know if I can capture it well enough on camera, but there are grooves, like brush lines in the paint, in the enamel of this one. And then the other way you can tell, it's not 100%, but another way you can tell is looking at the backs, okay? So this is the back of the real one, okay? And this, I'm gonna put it back on the side, is the back of the scrapper, okay? Now, not to say over time that a Disney pin wouldn't lose some of its luster, some of its shine, but not this much, right? And then on top of that, I can run my finger across this and it's the feel of it is very rough, like almost like sandpapery-ish. It's very rough. This is smooth. Like I feel the grooves of where the stamps are, but it's still very, very smooth. The Mickey heads on these, I don't know, see. This particular one, the Mickey head stamps are not bad. Like the stamping on, let me put this down. The Mickey head waffling or the stamping on there, it's not too bad. Because some of them you get some really disfigured heads. But the other really big telltale, other than the brush paint, the brush strokes on here, is the weight. This pen feels like air. Like if I could, I probably could. It's a soft enamel. I probably could bend it. Ooh, I think I just did. I probably could bend it. This one is solid and the weight is different. There is no bending that. It's a solid pen. The other thing is the stumps. So up here at the back, you see that? This is the fake one. You have these little nubs right there, but they're itty bitty nubs. Let me turn it this way. So you barely see those nubs. Now take a look at this one. You see that? Now that's not always a true tale because Disney is not consistent with its nub placement, but the nubs are there to help protect the post. So when you put it into the board, it doesn't sit too flush with that. So it is there to protect the post, but just that nub difference. I mean, it's a big difference there. So that's another way to tell it's a scrapper. And so like this one, the nubs, it should have taller nubs. And you see, I don't know if you can see that very well, but there's nubs there, but they're not doing anything. But this one has nubs, but they look like cones. You know, Disney doesn't generally do, like I'm gonna show you, let me see. Well, no, I lied because this is one of my real pins and you have the cone nubs there and cone nubs here. And the post is bent, but I think it's probably because of me taking it in and out of stuff or whatever. So either way, the thing about scrappers is one, they're not tradable in a part. They are faked pins. However, I say they're not tradable. They shouldn't be tradable. However, people still do trade them. And that's why there are so many in circulation, is because when you buy those big lots off of eBay or such, and you get these scrappers, and then they take them and they trade them in the parks, and a cast member can't generally, they don't tell you, no, you can't trade. So they get traded into the parks. And if you're coming up behind another person and you're pulling, oh, I like this and I like this, you have to kind of either know what you're looking for and know the quality of your pins, or don't care. Okay. Like I said, this scrapper, even though I would love to have the real version of this, but I don't think I'll ever get rid of this one because he's my Rona Grumpy. But there are a lot of people that collect pins that don't mind the scrappers. It's similar in line with the fantasy pins. Fantasy pins, they some people like, some people don't. You know, and it's really your choice. If you like it, then get it, keep it, whatever. If you don't and you want to stick with authentic pins, that is fine too. There is no judgment. What you like is what you like. I'm just here to tell you there is a difference if you're that person looking about, you know, trying to figure out, make sure if you only want authentic pins, then you want to stick with licensed pins and Disney pins and try to be on the lookout for scrappers. I will say a good resource is pinpicks.com. Pinpicks.com is a website that I use. It is a website that shows you the original, not for every single pin, but for so many. They show you the original picture of a pin. They'll give you how much the original purchase price was, when was it released, how many people are wanting it, and how many people are trading it through PinPicks. It also gives you a description of any like release information about it. You know, if it was released with a particular for a pin event, or you know, what have you. And it also tells you scrapper information if they have it, what to look out for if it has been scrapped. So my advice to you is, if you're unsure, go to pinpicks.com. That's PINPICS.com. I'll put the link in the description box below. Create yourself an account and just kind of shop around. You don't buy anything off of it, you just look. But look around and look at some of your pins and kind of gauge them back and forth. I know there was a 3 Caballeros pin that I got from my parents, or that we got on eBay, and when we were on PinPicks, I don't have the pin with me because they have the pin, but when I really, really looked at it, his poncho color striping pattern was off. And it's just one little change, but the pin looked great. It looks beautiful. So do you want to keep it or not keep it? That's completely your choice, and no harsh judgment on that. Just know that if you are going to trade, you cannot trade scrappers for real pins under the guise of these are real pins. That is wrong. Don't do that. And preferably don't take scrappers to the park, because there are people like me that will trade real pins. And I would hope not to get a scrapper for my real pin. So, there you go, scrappers. Stay tuned for our next video. My next video, we're gonna talk about how to store pins. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.